Queensland is talking seriously about moving children away from residential care and into more family-based forms of care. That direction is really important. Children need relationships, they need belonging, they need ordinary family and community experiences. But there's a danger here. We can change where a child lives without changing the system surrounding them. We can move the child and leave the fragmentation exactly where it was. Because a placement is not a team. A placement tells us where the child is living. A team tells us who is holding safety, who's thinking about development, belonging, connection, and continuity around that child. And those are not the same thing. Queensland's recent child safety inquiry identified an over-reliance on residential care and called for a substantial shift towards family-based alternatives. It also raised serious questions about accountability, fragmented responsibility, and how children's pathways through care are understood and managed. But the implementation question is bigger than where can we place this child. The implementation question is what needs to be built around this child so that the placement has a genuine chance of holding. Because changing the placement may be a decision, but building stability requires a system. Imagine a child moves into a family-based placement. The carer is committed. They want to help. They're trying to understand the child's behaviour, their history, their relationships, their fears, their triggers, their strengths, their routines. But now look at what might be sitting around that placement. The school is responding to behaviour in one way. The therapist is recommending something else. The case manager is waiting on a decision. Family contact is changing. Health appointments are overdue. Important information is sitting in separate systems. And the carer is receiving advice from 5 different directions. On paper, the child has support. In reality, the household has become the pressure point for every gap in the system. And this is where we make a serious mistake. We say the placement broke down. But sometimes the placement didn't simply just break down. Sometimes the adults around the placement never became a functioning team. The caregiver became the coordinator, the messenger, the historian, the emotional container, the appointment manager, the person chasing decisions. And then, when that person could no longer carry it all, we describe the placement as unstable. This is not a family-based system. That's a family carrying the system. A family-based placement needs a family-supported system. A placement can provide a home, but it can't automatically provide 5 essential conditions. The first is coordination. Putting a child in a household doesn't automatically connect the carer, the school, the case manager, the therapist, the family health professionals, and the community supports. Being involved with the same child doesn't mean that the adults are working together. The second is shared priorities. Every professional can have a sensible plan, but if each adult is working towards a different priority, the child experiences inconsistency. One person's focused on attendance, another's focused on emotional regulation, another's focused on family contact, another's focused on behaviour, another's focused on placement stability. And each of those priorities might be legitimate, but which one of them has to take priority now? And what are the adults going to hold together? The third is supported caregivers. A committed caregiver is essential, but commitment, it's not an infinite resource. Carers need timely information. They need practical support. They need guidance that can be applied in ordinary life. They need decisions made when decisions are required. They need someone to call before the situation becomes a crisis. And they need to know that they're part of the team, not simply the person expected to implement everybody else's recommendations. The fourth is continuity. Work has changed. Placements change, schools change, services close, plans are rewritten, but the child still has one life. So who carries the child's story across those transitions? Who remembers what's already been tried? Who notices the patterns? Who makes sure the child doesn't have to start again with every new adult? The fifth is meaningful participation. The child needs a voice, but they shouldn't have to become the coordinator. They shouldn't be responsible for telling the teacher what the therapist said, or explaining to a new worker what happened in the last placement, or carrying messages between adults who are not communicating. The child should have influence with the team. They shouldn't have to hold the team together. Queensland system reviews have continued to identify information sharing and interagency collaboration as pivotal areas for improvement. In child protection systems, we often begin with what service or services does this child need? Which is sometimes the right question, but not always the first question. Sometimes a better question is, what does this child need to experience consistently from adults who are already around them? Do they need adults who remain calm when their child becomes distressed? Do they need adults who give the same message about safety and belonging? Do they need someone protecting their connection to siblings, kin, or culture? Do they need a school adult who genuinely knows them? Do they need a therapist helping the adults understand the child, not simply working privately with the child? Do they need one adult who will still be there after the current plan closes? And that changes the focus. We stop seeing a list of services and we start seeing a developmental network. This is why I developed the child-centered team map. This is not another case plan, it's not a longer list of professionals, and it's not another 2-hour meeting. The map asks leaders to look at the adults around one child and examine 5 things. Who is present? Which essential roles are covered? Where are the relationships strong, patchy, or missing? Who's carrying too much? And where is responsibility unclear? Because the problem's not always that nobody cares. Often many people care and care deeply. The problem is that the care is fragmented. Good people are working hard, but in different directions. And the child experiences the spaces between them. The carer experiences the contradictions between them. The team leader experiences the escalations between them. And the organisation experiences the placement instability that follows. The child-centered team map helps make that invisible system visible. Here's a practical test. Think of one child or young person, not your entire service, not every case, just one child, and ask, who is the everyday adult holding safety and regulation? Who is protecting identity, family, kin, and cultural connection? Who is the education anchor? Who's helping the adults understand the child's developmental and therapeutic needs? Who's coordinating statutory decisions? Who's protecting the child's voice? Who provides community, friendship, and just ordinary belonging? And who's the adult likely to remain when the professionals all change? Now ask one more question. If this placement came under pressure next week, which adults would lean in? And which gaps would become immediately visible? That question tells you more than the number of services listed on the case plan. The leadership task is not to become the hero who personally holds every connection. That only creates another fragile system. The leadership task is to ensure that the right relationships exist, the roles are clear, and the adults know how to coordinate when pressure rises. And that's the shift from heroic leadership to networked leadership. From who can fix this to how do we strengthen the adult system around this child? From where can we place them to what must exist around the placement? From who is responsible to how do we share responsibility without losing accountability? A child needs more than somewhere to live. They need adults who are connected enough to provide consistency. They need caregivers who are supported rather than left carrying the system. They need professionals who can work beyond the boundaries of their own service. They need continuity. They need belonging. They need a voice. They need leaders who can see the whole system around them. Because moving a child changes their address. Building a team changes their experience. Choose one child this week. Write down every adult around them. Then circle the person who's carrying the most responsibility. Is that load visible? Is it shared? And is it sustainable? That's where the child-centered team map begins.